Here we go. Hi, hey, hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Ashlyn and this is going to be my second trimester recap video. Just a disclaimer, my voice is a little bit more raspier than normal. I feel like I have a raspy voice in general, but it's definitely raspier than normal. I am having a lot of congestion. I'm in my third trimester now, and congestion has definitely been one thing that I've noticed. Every morning I'm so stuffed up. I have a lot of drainage, which is completely normal for this stage of my pregnancy, but it does cause me to have a little bit of a raspy voice. I was going to wait to record this until my voice felt a little bit better and sounded a little bit better, but honestly, time is flying by. I am already 33 weeks and 3 days today, and I just want to get this filmed, edited up, honestly just for my sake, so I can do my third trimester recap and then be on track to do a birth vlog and a birth story and a fourth trimester update. I really just want to document these moments and document my pregnancy. This is my first one and it's so special to me. And I just want to have these to look back on and to reminisce on. Also to have these during my next pregnancies when they come along. Honestly, I feel like everything slips my mind and I have to like sit down and actually write out my symptoms and my experience to remember them, which is also just super special to me. I really enjoy doing this and I look forward to making this video, so let's just jump right into it. In my first trimester recap, I kind of split things into different categories, and this video is going to be set up just a little bit differently. I'm going to be referencing a lot of stuff from my first trimester and how things have changed and evolved being in my second trimester. Also new things that I've experienced during my second trimester. My number one symptom that I had in my first trimester that really changed in my second trimester was the nausea. So in my first trimester, the nausea was unbearable. It was 24/7. I was vomiting, couldn't keep food down, could barely drink water, was so fatigued. It was miserable. Luckily for me, the second trimester was so much different. My nausea was pretty much gone unless I let my stomach get too empty or I ate too big of a meal. I noticed that if I did smaller meals and snacks every 2 hours, I had no nausea and everything felt really good. Fatigue was also pretty much gone unless I overdid it the day before or I didn't sleep well. Speaking of sleep, sleep definitely changed in the second trimester. Since I wasn't so fatigued, I wasn't napping as much during the day, if at all. And I think the only thing that inhibited me and made sleep more difficult was my growing belly. Since I wasn't as nauseous, I was definitely eating more. My appetite grew, my aversions went down, and my belly grew in response to that, which is perfectly normal for the second trimester. And so with that extra weight, I definitely felt my hips and my sciatica nerve pain and all of that. My lower back was just feeling a little bit more fatigued. So I had to sleep with pillows in between my knees and my belly, which I'm still doing now. And my sleep schedule whenever I was in the second trimester, like I said, I wasn't taking naps during the day unless I had overdone it the day before or didn't sleep well the night before. And I would go to sleep anywhere between like 8 and 9 and sleep all the way until like 5 or 6, which was so much different from the first trimester. I was waking up like every single hour during the night, getting sick in the first trimester, so being able to sleep was godsend. And I was flipping constantly back and forth in the second trimester just because of the growing belly, but I found that I was able to kind of sleep through it, if that makes sense. Obviously I was waking up to flip from side to side, but I was going right back to sleep. I was getting that good quality sleep. Another thing I hear a lot of people talk about was heartburn, especially when you're having a boy, which that's just like an old wives' tale. But I really didn't have heartburn at all in the second trimester. I think there was like a couple days where it flared up. It wasn't an all-day thing. I believe that was around like the 25/26 week mark. And like I said, it was like 2 days and then it went away and it hasn't been back. Aversions were almost completely gone for the most part. Obviously, there's some things that are just like, oof, don't want that. While the aversions were gone, I found that my thirst became unbearable in the second trimester. When my aversions went away in the second trimester, I found that my thirst became unbearable. I always had to have water on me. I loved drinking juice. I tried to just make sure it was fruit juices that were relatively healthy for us and high in vitamin C. I did a lot of like cranberry juice, grape juice, apple juice, and orange juice. Another symptom that came during the second trimester was like itchy skin and dry lips. I live in Colorado, which is a very dry state. With the altitude and being up in the mountains, it's definitely different from what I'm used to. The itchy skin hasn't been terrible as long as I keep lotion and oil on my body. Especially in the wintertime, like the colder it gets. It's snowy outside right now. It's like, I think December 12th. And as it got colder through my second trimester and now I'm in my third trimester, I definitely seen an increase in the itchy skin and the dry lips. So I just tried to do moisturizing everywhere at least once, if not twice a day. Also always having, like, they look dry right now, but always having my oil and my chapstick on my lips definitely helps. Another thing that I hear everyone talking about and updating whenever they do their little first and second trimester updates is the sex drive. And I'm just gonna be honest, it's been a no-go for me. I don't like to be laid on, I don't like to be touched. Which is so weird for me because I'm such a touchy-feely, cuddly person when I'm not pregnant. So I definitely think it's just the point of having a child inside of me, and any outside touching, it's just a lot. I do enjoy like a really rough, intense massage on my back and my hips, but other than that, I'm just like, don't touch me, don't look at me too long, like definitely a little irritable at times. So moving on to my hair, I am in the third trimester now, so it has grown a little bit in the past few weeks. That's the biggest thing I've noticed, is that it's growing. I don't see a major shift in like the health of my hair. Do find that like right here is starting to thin out a little bit, which I've dealt with in the past from having my hair up too much. I practice yoga a lot, I'm outside a lot when I'm not pregnant, and so I had a lot of thinning around this area. And I noticed that once I stopped wearing my hair up so much, that it grew back and was super luscious. And so being pregnant, I've had my hair up a lot again, and I definitely see that it's thinning, so I'm trying to keep it down. But although it's growing, I find that it's like super brittle, and if I don't style it, it just looks not the greatest, so I like to just throw it up. But since it is thinning, I am trying to not have my hair up as much because I don't want to lose my hair right here. I know that that's a common thing that happens during postpartum, and so if I can prevent that, I want to. As for my skin, it's pretty much been all right. I don't feel like I got the glowing hormone. I do get breakouts around here and on my chin, which I'm pretty sure is like the hormonal zones. During pre-pregnancy, anytime I would eat sugar or drink sugary drinks, I would break out in these zones. I find that it's the same for during pregnancy too. Anytime I crave sugar or I indulge a little bit in a sugary drink or a sugary item, I do get the breakouts as well. Other than the sugar breakouts, I just noticed that my skin is drier than normal, which I mentioned, my lips and my skin just feels more dry, which, like I said, I feel like has a lot to do with the climate and where I live now. Okay, so the last couple of things I want to talk about is how my midwife appointments went in my second trimester and my body and my stretch marks. So first, midwife appointments always go super smooth and awesome. They always have great things to say. He always measures like a day ahead. So if I'm 25 weeks, he measures 25 weeks and a day, 26 weeks and a day, 27 weeks and a day. My urine always comes back super good. His heartbeat is always really strong. I feel so much more fetal movement in the second trimester versus the first. Obviously, he's getting bigger. He's moving around. Every time they checked for his position, he was head down, which, yes, Cooper, stay head down. The only thing that I've had to really deal with is being borderline anemic. Anemia is super common in pregnancy, and I feel like I've always been borderline anemic. I don't really go to the doctor a lot. I feel like it's super unnecessary, but after doing some research on anemia and me getting 2 different blood works drawn and coming back with low levels, it definitely makes a lot more sense in some other things that I've dealt with previously, pre-pregnancy. So it's not anything that's super concerning. I have just been taking an iron supplement every single day. I take a liquid one with a couple sprays of vitamin C spray. They say that it helps your iron absorption if you take it with vitamin C. So I've been doing that with some orange juice every morning, and I will do a little update in the third trimester recap on my anemia and how that goes. I have an appointment this Wednesday with my midwife, so we will see how well my body has done absorbing the iron and if my levels are better or if they kind of stay the same and all of that good stuff. Other ways I've been trying to boost my iron have been green smoothies. I love Life cereal, and it's actually very iron fortified, so I've been eating a lot of Life cereal and trying to incorporate more ground beef, which, if you know me, you know I don't like meat. I didn't eat meat pre-pregnancy for probably like 5 or 6 years, and I was vegan for like 3 or 4 years pre-pregnancy. So eating meat is definitely hard for me, which could also be why I'm kind of low on iron in general. and why my levels are coming back borderline anemic. So I've been really doing my best to incorporate that and scarfing that down even when I don't want to. Last but not least, let's talk about body and weight gain and stretch marks. For weight gain, in my second trimester, I gained probably up to like 40 pounds from like pre-pregnancy to the end of my second trimester. It was about 40 pounds or so, which is completely normal for pregnancy. As for stretch marks in my second trimester, I definitely started to see them show up and become darker, like more purple stretch marks on my hips and my love handles, and also on the outsides of my legs. Which this is something that I dealt with pre-pregnancy. They were not the purpley stretch marks, they were just like the white clear ones. My weight has always fluctuated throughout my entire life. Before I got pregnant, I was probably the most fit and in shape I had ever been in my life. I was so happy with my body, so comfortable in my own skin, but I had lost a lot of weight getting to that point. And so it's natural for your body to have stretch marks. But as for it being different in pregnancy, it's definitely like that purpley color, which is perfectly normal. I definitely seen my belly button start to disappear in my second trimester, and also my linea nigra started to pop out a little bit. So here is some little bump date pictures and belly updates from my second trimester. So that pretty much wraps up my second trimester recap. I am getting so excited to meet this little guy. We're getting his nursery all set up. Just getting so excited. We pretty much have everything done in his nursery. Like I said, I want to do a little nursery tour. I want to get a third trimester recap up. I want to do a birth vlog, birth story, and I want to keep you guys updated and just document for myself how the rest of this pregnancy goes and how the fourth trimester is, and just welcoming this little being into our life. We are excited to have our little best friend here and to just become parents. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along on our journey. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.